Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down. Hey, Buttercup.
Hi there, girlfriend. How you doing?
I'm good.
Are you?
Yes.
You look good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you been using a lot of serums lately? You always use a lot of serums.
I use a lot of serums.
We always talk about serums.
I have a nice glow because we've been recording for a while and I'm a little overserved. So I get a nice glow when I'm a little overserved. So
Same.
I'm not mad about that at all.
Not mad about it at all.
And I'm going to eat Pizza Hut for dinner.
Ooh,
it's Sunday.
You
It's
are
Sunday.
so fancy.
Yeah, we're
Are they sponsoring this episode? Pizza Hut?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm going to send them an email.
Do you get like a little sweaty when you get overserved? Or I know girls don't sweat,
I get
right?
warm.
Yeah.
I get warm.
Warmed up.
But no, I just, honestly, it's Sunday. It's a slow day.
I love that.
I've been chilling out and
Good.
I honestly get to like stay in my pajamas.
Oh, yeah.
And just,
Yes.
we're finally, I think Scott and I are finally going to watch Saltburn.
Oh, okay. I haven't watched it yet.
We've been trying to watch it, but actually, no, I have to watch last night's Saturday Night Live. That's
okay.
Foremost.
Girlfriend, I have to tell you what I watched recently. I watched the interview with, on 2020 with Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
I couldn't watch it. No, I saw.
Have you watched any of that?
No.
Everybody, if you guys haven't watched The Act, which is a thing on,
it's an amazing with Patricia Arquette is
Hulu,
unbelievable.
It's about this.
Watch Dead Mommy Dearest first.
Yeah,
that's the documentary.
Mommy Dead and Dearest is the doc. Mommy Dead and Dearest is the documentary.
It's about Gypsy Rose and her mom, Munchausen by proxy. It's unbelievable. It's real. Y'all all know who she is. Super complicated.
Oh yeah.
Can't even get into it. Remember, you said we were gonna do this.
I said we were going to do it, but I just wanted to let you know that
I
know we don't have to say anything about it. I just want people to watch it because it's just so compelling and crazy and weird.
So so I should watch it.
Oh yeah, watch it. Watch it.
2020.
Yeah, watch the. So if you guys don't know, she's out of prison now. She's served her 10 years.
No, she didn't serve since she served 7.
Well, she served her time or whatever, and
she's reformed.
She's out, and she's
she was responsible. She had her mother murdered.
Yeah,
that
she seems
Munchausen by proxy, and I completely understand why.
Yes,
that
and that's
went
covered.
Down, but it's still murder. I mean, it's very complicated.
It is, but it's complicated, and it's one of the.
But if she wasn't going to kill her, it's almost self-defense. Like
she was also very good at manipulating people because she probably learned how to manipulate people from being around her mother so much.
Yeah,
but anyway, one of the psychologists said on this, like one of the talking heads on this 2020 interview was like, I wonder if we would be saying like, oh, but she murdered her mother. Would we be saying the same thing if she had been a kidnapped child and it was like self-defense? Like, oh, well, you know what?
I know, and I know that. I agree.
So it's not as just cut and dried as we think, but
no,
yes.
And I agree. I don't love though, like the morning. It's like she's been on all these morning shows, and like
they've been asking
with her new husband, and it's. I feel it's a little tasteless, which is like, who am I to say? And I'm not judging. We don't judge, but I felt like, it's someone being killed, no matter who they are, to be celebrated is hard for me to like. And I think her mother. I think I'm not saying that Gypsy Rose did the wrong thing. I don't know what I would have done in that situation.
That's not really what's up for discussion, though. That's not really what's up for discussion.
I'm not saying it is, but it's just that's the complication of me wanting to.
Right.
I mean, I've been following her on Instagram, so I'm not like, look,
don't lie.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
I know you're obsessed with it. Just don't even lie.
I am, but it's complicated.
Don't lie.
You and I had this conversation. Now I feel like you Shawshanked me because you and I both agreed we weren't gonna like watch that 2020, and now you already fucking watched it, and I have to watch it now because I look like an asshole.
Sorry. Oh my gosh, Natalie Sanderson, you have just really taking it over the edge with this
But I look like a
language.
jerk. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's
Pardonnez-moi.
fine.
Pardon my
Why
French,
don't we
but
just move on to what we're going to talk about today? Because you're coming in a little hot and
you know why I'm
spicy.
coming in a little hot and spicy? Because what
Tequila,
we're talking
tequila,
about, not kill you.
tequila,
You know, no, I
tequila,
know a little
tequila.
bit. But the reason
Remember
I'm
when we
coming in
did that
hot.
thing? Wait.
Wait,
We
wait,
have to tell
wait,
our
wait.
listeners about
Yeah.
this. Remember that time? So what was it? Like you said, if you
It
don't,
was
what
if
was it?
you
If you don't
don't
go get
go
me a
get me a
cookie,
cookie, I'ma kill you. And it it's like a redneck way or like a
a key,
it's saying kill
a
you instead of
key.
a kill you. A
And
kill
so
you.
now we try to
Now
spell that out in
we've
text
said that.
messages to each other, and it's always come out like
Our spelling always
I.
changes. Kiya. Now we just say Kiya. It's like
Don't
Kiyye
tell anybody I told you this. Otherwise, a
or
key,
a
a
Kiya.
key,
A
a
Kiya.
key.
No, I'm
Right.
coming in hot because it's part of our
Sorry.
theme.
Let's just take it down.
We can't take it down. We're
All right,
talking
let's
about
go
a
in hot. Let's just go in hot.
1992 thriller.
Staying true to our roots. Yep.
1992
You're right.
thriller,
Yep.
Unlawful Entry.
Oh my gosh, Natalie. I
Oh,
hadn't even heard of this movie until you told me about it.
so this is what happened. This literally happened on Friday night.
Yeah.
Um, One, I always look at the thriller genre on watching stuff. Scott was hanging out with his friends, and Jackson was having a teenager party,
Mm-hmm.
and Keen had her best friend over. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna be downstairs for a minute. I'm gonna make everybody cookies, and then I'm out. I'm upstairs. Like
Yeah.
I ain't doing this. I'm not helicopter, whatever. So I got upstairs. I was
Right.
like, oh my god, Scott's. I'm just gonna watch
Mm-hmm.
a 90s thriller.
Mm-hmm.
First thing that popped up that said for you on Hulu was Unlawful Entry, starring Ray Liotta from 1992. Ray
Wow,
Liotta and
it's
Kurt
like they
Russell.
know you.
They
It's
know
like they
the
know you. They
algorithm
know
is
you.
not wrong on
Uh-uh.
on Hulu for me,
No.
and it was Ray Liotta, Kurt Russell, and Madeline Stowe.
Yes.
Yes,
Madeline Stowe.
which I love her less than the Deacons. Right? I mean,
That was the same year as this movie.
it was. I didn't even realize.
Yes. I
This movie
Yeah.
has everything. I feel like Stefan from Saturday Night Live. This movie has everything. It has murder, stalking, club owner, nude blouses, negligees, and boxy suits.
Don't
It
forget the Spanish tile and the friend in the closet whose
I
arm
the
comes flying down.
the
Phrogger.
Phrogger in the closet. Not sure if he was living there, but
Oh boy.
so
Yeah.
when I was watching this and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't know when, we hadn't talked about a good thriller, a 90s thriller in a while. I
I
mean,
know.
besides The Fugitive,
We
we
did
did do The
talk
Fugitive,
and we talked about Fight Club.
but this is
Yeah.
1992 and it's like clean cut. You don't see a clean cut Kurt Russell.
You don't.
You just don't.
You
You
just
see a
don't.
Western version or a
Yep.
overboard version. You see a mullet. Okay, that's
You
what you
see a
see.
lot of mullet out of that guy.
Hard mullet. This
Yep.
is serious clean cut calyx
Preppy.
with circular glasses.
Gold trim.
Nude
Gold rim.
suits, so much gold, nude boxy suits, almost like the MC Hammer.
Button down
Okay.
shirts. Yep.
Button down shirts.
Yep.
A lot of khaki in this
A
one.
lot of khaki.
You see a lot of
And
khaki.
I mean, worn well because they are pleated khakis, but they're
and pointy shoes.
but they fit well. They're not like pleated khakis that don't fit well because he doesn't really have he doesn't have the belly that lops
no, he's
over.
not trying to like mask anything. Like he's
No.
obviously fit, like
He's
whatever.
fit. Yeah.
But he's also wearing pointy toe loafers. Like it's just a
Yes,
kind of
yes.
like the ultimate early 90s look.
Oh, it has
But
it
that was
all.
like so not his look. Like that's
Oh,
not
no, but it
Kurt Russell's vibe.
Okay, so get into this. This is like get
No,
into
you
it.
get into this. I just
You
did
know
the intro.
you get into it.
And
So-
I yelled. I didn't mean to yell at you. I just
Sorry,
get like I'm
it's
so
okay. I
conflicted
just
about
get
Gypsy
excited.
Rose.
You just got
And
excited.
I wasn't
It's
expecting
okay.
that conversation.
Let me
wasn't.
read you the I'm sorry, honey. Okay. Let me read you the synopsis that I pulled off of the interwebs. Okay. Now, happily married Michael, Kurt Russell, and Karen, Madeline Stowe, call the police after a failed robbery. Officer Pete Davis, played by Ray Liotta, arrives and helps arrange the installation of a new security system. The grateful Cars have Pete to dinner and strike up a friendship. Pete invites Michael to ride with him during a night's patrol and gives him the chance to beat up the burglar. Notice I said burglar, how you say burglar.
Burglar.
Burglar. Burglar.
Burglar.
Michael refuses and tells the disturbed cop to stay away, but Pete begins stalking the terrified couple. This movie has it all. Oh my gosh, I just totally deleted all my notes. Did I? Did I just delete all my
Listen,
notes?
okay,
I think
listen,
I
I
just
got you.
deleted all my notes.
Let's talk about this. This
I
is a
deleted all my
clean-cut
notes.
Kurt Russell, like we've
Yeah.
said.
Yep.
His suits make it very clear that his job is a club owner.
Clearly,
He's
is
clearly,
a guy
and his haircut
trying
and
to get
glasses, he's
funding for a
for
club that he
clubs.
wants
He's
to
a club
open.
owner.
A
And
nightclub.
Madeline Stowe in this movie never has to wear actual clothes because she's always in negligee or bathing suits.
She's in a long silk negligee spaghetti strap.
It's like 6 p.m.
But
She's
are you judging?
No, I'm jealous.
Don't judge.
I want to be more like that.
She looks fantastic in these things.
I know.
There is a part where she is
like goals.
Yeah. It also, can I just say, I didn't realize Madeline Stowe's voice was that low.
I know. I forgot.
It's very low. It's like
she's
it's not
stunning,
quite,
but she's like one of those.
It's not like the
beauties that like takes your she's so beautiful, and like her voice. Then when you hear it, you're like, oh, so it's not like this like sweet I mean, it's like, oh, all right,
Yeah.
so you're super sexy. Okay,
Yeah,
well that's your deal, and
she
then now
is.
you're gonna be in negligees this whole movie or a bathing suit.
Right. But I will say she did one of the outfits she did have that I really, really loved. I know you're going to know what it is. She had on
The sweater and the jeans.
The
501 jeans.
with a white blouse. It was a short sleeve blouse.
Yeah,
or was it long sleeve? I think it was short sleeve. And it buttoned down the back.
Yes.
It buttoned down the
They
back.
don't make
and
those
that
anymore
was
as much.
so nice. That was so like CP Shades,
I
like
know.
circa 1992. Like I can't even with that. Like, do you remember CP Shades? Did you guys have that? Did you wear that? That might have been like a California brand. It was like a very like California like.
It was
like
similar
like
to Bugle Boy because that's what I wore.
No, it wasn't similar. It was just like a loose and
Umbro?
easy and free spirit kind of
like multiples.
like no, like sort of like cotton, maybe like linen-y kind of stuff, like loose with like buttons and like it was just very boxy and just very artsy and cute, like very cute,
relaxed.
Like I think you would wear that outfit right now. That 501s with the shirt that buttons down the back.
I would absolutely wear that.
100%. That's the one that she took off. Okay, so I don't want to get ahead, but Ray Liotta in this movie, I can't even start with Ray Liotta. Okay. Natalie,
he's the cop. He's the hero. He's a sweetheart, and he's a creep. I mean, we got it all. He's the total package.
I mean, he
is a 90s thriller in this one character.
Creepiest cop ever. I mean, just
shocking.
He's like trying to act like he's their savior, but he's secretly just sabotaging them right and left.
Because
basically
he's in love
sabotaging
with
the
Madeline
guy.
Stowe. He's in love with
Within
Karen.
like the first 5 seconds, he's in love with her.
Yeah, because he's a psychopath.
He's not really in love with her though. He's just wants to have her. He's enamored and wants to dominate her.
She has to be his.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I have issues with Kurt Russell's character in this movie and how he handles
what are your issues?
Multiple situations.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like he's a total weenie in this movie.
But you
have to have a weenie in a 90s thriller.
Yeah, you do.
In lots of ways, but mostly.
Also, there's a lot of boobs.
I mean, it was always
there's so much nudity. Like
always nudity in 90s thrillers. Always.
There's so many boobs. Like
they don't do that anymore. It's like everyone's so naked. No one flinched.
They just were like, "Oh yeah, I'm just taking off my top for this. No big deal. No big whoop."
Yeah, it just was like,
yep,
and not in like just a mooning way, but
no, not even in that way. Not even like, no.
But I feel like what I did like about so I'm saying Kurt Russell kind of came off as a weenie in this movie, and but also I did and then I didn't because Kurt Russell was the only one in the movie, and Darren, I'm sorry, he was like he had said all the fuck yous. That was like Kurt Russell said that. He said F you so many times.
Yes.
And to so many different people.
He's enraged.
And that's when I was like, you okay? All right, you're bucking up. Okay.
Yeah, no, he bucks
You're not
up.
trying to be best friends with the creep cop.
Right.
Who your wife is being wildly inappropriate.
Oh, God.
With, by the way.
By the way,
that was wildly inappropriate relations.
She has this thing where she's like, my husband is kind of a weenie, and this cop is like going to protect me.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm going to like let him in and have a conversation with him and go have like a glass of wine with him or whatever.
At a bar.
And then at a bar. And then he
knowing
just keeps,
he's like likes her.
yeah. And he keeps showing up in all these places where like he knows she's going to be because he's like stalking her.
Yeah.
He's
and
just
I know
gross.
she knows that, but she's like, she's loving the attention.
She likes the attention. Yeah.
Because Kurt's too busy trying to open up the club.
Side note, if you're too busy trying to open up a club,
go pay
watch
attention
out.
to your
Pay some
partner.
attention to your lady.
Go to your partner and be like, I'm sorry, opening a club is very hard, but how you doing?
Right,
Hey,
exactly. I think it's time for us to reconnect.
Let me give you a hug, and you look really nice.
You look absolutely gorgeous today.
You look great.
Here's some flowers.
Yeah, something. Do something.
Just don't let her.
My God.
Don't let that cop sweep her off her feet. It almost happened.
Oh, the part that I wrote down for that part about them getting a drink.
Yes.
So, first of all, he asked if she wanted to go get a cup of coffee. This is Ray Liotta and Madeline Stowe.
I know.
He asked if they go get a cup, and then they end up getting beers.
Yep.
And she's getting beers and this is already when Kurt Russell hated Ray Liotta.
Yes, because
Kurt Russell decided that Kurt Russell is a creep, and that there's something wrong with him as this like hero. He's showing up everywhere. He's overstepping. He's been overstepping.
Yes.
And Madeline Stowe knows that. So not only does she not get a cup of coffee, she goes and gets beers at a bar with the guy that her husband hates and is like, there's something wrong with him. She's like, neat.
Yeah.
Goes and gets beers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, Russell's, I don't know if it was exclusive, but like he was exclusively wearing nude button downs. They're all neutral colors.
I didn't really notice that.
And at one point I thought he didn't have a shirt on under his suit jacket. And I was like, oh, that's the color of I was like, oh, he's just like rocking this like
button down.
I was like, what a 90s thing to do. No, it was the color of his top was the color of skin. And it was too much nude.
Yep.
I guess that was how they got away with a lot of their nudity. I mean, it still showed.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so what happens is, and then Ray Liotta like really wants to be with Karen, and he sets up Kurt Russell to be, like arrested and like, for what was it he was accused of doing?
He starts down this path of just sabotaging Kurt Russell, Michael.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Michael Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
To where like he makes it look like he has parking. No, the first thing that happens is he's taking out these investors to dinner, and he goes to swipe his credit card to pay for dinner, and his credit card is closed, and he doesn't understand why. And so that's the first thing. Then he goes out to his car, and his car has a boot on it, and and it's just like this whole thing.
His credit cards don't work. Did you already say that?
Credit cards, yeah, the credit card doesn't work at the dinner. Boot on the car. Chain of events just starting to make him look like he's a terrible person who has all these terrible outstanding issues. And then like the piece de resistance is like he plants like cocaine all over his house and pills and shit. And then like the police come and they're like, "What's this? Like you're clearly like a drug dealer." Like and he gets arrested. I mean, it is a whole thing, and it just keeps going and going and going.
He has the codes for their alarm system that he had installed, and
yes,
you know the code word and all that.
It's just like a big setup that just keeps going and going. And it's like one of those things where it kind of reminded me of that movie Pacific Heights. Did you ever see Pacific
with
Heights?
Michael Keaton.
It kind of is along
Griffith.
those lines. It's kind of like that's like a Phrogger, but like but yeah,
Keaton's played a Phrogger a lot. Even technically, Beetlejuice would be considered a Phrogger.
You're right. Oh my gosh, you're so right about that.
I know.
He is just a Phrogger. Yeah, so it kind of reminded me of like that whole thing of like the setup that just it's like a snowball, and you as the viewer you just watch this happening, and you're like, how is this ever going to turn out? You know it's going to turn out okay at the end.
Well, you know,
but along the way, but that's why, Natalie, I will say that is why this movie to me has it all, because it's almost like one step away from like a Lifetime movie.
Barely.
Right? Like it
it takes him way too long to ask to speak to a lawyer. Kurt Russell has been talking. I mean, like it takes him way too long to say lawyer, lawyer, liotta.
I know.
He just like keeps making it worse for himself. Right?
I know. Yes.
That's classic.
Yes.
And then I think there's like a part where Ray Liotta looks at Karen after he scares her, and he's like, I'm never going anywhere, and, like, you belong with me, and, like, and then he's like, "You look great. I'll see you later." Like,
Oh,
that was, like, the exit, and
and
you're like, you look great," after he was, like, scared her to
yeah,
death.
I scared her to
And then
death.
the silk stockings bathtub. I
Yeah,
mean, the
I
bathtub, the
I
silks,
know.
it's like this from USA Network. I
Yeah,
mean,
I know.
it
Yeah,
had it all.
it had it all. This movie
Yeah.
has it all. This is a good watch, people.
This
This is like
movie goes in through the jump though. Like the minute you start this
it.
movie, there's a home invasion.
It really
Okay? Like you
does.
don't get the
Yeah,
credits. You don't get
no,
time to take
no,
don't go get a drink just because you think the credits are coming. And
nope,
don't even try and pay attention to the font. You don't
uh-uh,
have time
nope.
because there's a home invader right out the jump.
Coming in hot.
It's coming in hot. I mean,
Yep,
this I do like that this movie comes in hot, which is
same.
similar to a lot of Lifetime movies. Like they don't waste a lot of time either because they only have like
Right.
what, an hour
Yeah, exactly. This is
with
like one step away
commercials.
from that. And
Yeah.
honestly, though, Ray Liotta, though, I just have to say something about Ray Liotta. That man has a baby face, but it's like a baby face of a devil baby.
Yeah.
Like his face is like
Like The Omen.
he's like so scary.
He's terrifying,
Don't
but
you think
he's really good at playing a sweetheart, scary man.
that
I
it's
mean, he
so
typecasted himself.
confusing?
Like, think about Goodfellas, remember?
I know.
He
It's
was
the
so
same
sweet,
thing.
but you still murdering people.
Oof. But he's just
And
bad.
this
He's
movie,
bad, bad Leroy Brown.
this movie is like
Baddest man in the whole damn town.
babyface, creeper,
Mhm. Yeah.
awful.
Those
And like, can we
dimples
talk
like
about the
that.
cat?
Oh,
Have you
yeah.
not you don't want to talk about the cat?
I was that was on my list of things to
The
talk
cat
about.
was a supporting actor.
The cat has a major role in this film.
Major role, and I mean,
I think
and
the
you
cat's
have
name is
cats.
Tiny. Isn't the cat's name Tiny?
Tiny.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big old fluffy, like orange, gigantic, like I don't know if it's just like
Got a
what
tabby? Like,
it's a
what is that?
tabby or like a long hair. It's like a long hair cat.
Mhm.
Man, that cat really gets Madeline Stowe's character out of some jams because
That cat is the hero
that
of
cat
this entire movie.
saved her. I mean,
Yeah,
really.
saved her.
Because she heard she had to go pretend like she was gonna get out of the house when he's got her cornered. She's gotta go let the
Uh-huh.
cat out. She's gotta go find the cat.
Yep.
Well, meanwhile, she opens the closet because she hears the cat meowing in there. And what does she see? Her best friend's arm comes flying out of nowhere because
Dead
she's
as a doornail.
dead as a doornail. And the cat is meowing, and she's like, well,
Thank you.
thank you,
I now
cat.
know my
Now I
best friend
know.
is dead.
Now I know what I'm dealing with.
You told me, cat,
Yeah,
that my
you
best
told
friend
me.
died.
You helped me.
So, thank you for that.
Unfortunately, the part of the movie that I was like, "Really?" was how did he get into her house? Like,
He knew all the codes.
but they had so she just left the door unlocked?
No, I mean, like, I think there are some alarm systems that, like, if you push buttons, like, the door
Is that
don't
what
you
it
remember in
was?
Fear? Like, it
We
makes
had to
it
we
unlocks the
had to, like,
door.
suspend our disbelief and try to, like, make that
Yeah.
leap because somehow
Yeah.
he got into her house.
Well, let me tell you something. I was
Yeah.
just relieved the whole time I was waiting for the cat to get offed, and I hate
Oh,
when
no.
they kill the
I know.
animals. Like, I
Yeah,
was
I
so
know.
stressed out about
Yeah,
that
same,
because
same.
they
But
do that in the '90s. They didn't give a shit.
they did
They killed
not.
all the animals. I'm
I
like,
know that.
I
I
can't
know.
with
I know.
that. Like,
You're right. You're
and
right.
I'm so glad that we have evolved enough that that's like not a thing really
Yeah.
anymore, unless
Are
like
we
you're
ever gonna
prepared for it.
forgive Glenn Close for that? I mean,
Oh, we're
for
not.
Fatal Attraction?
No, we're not. The
We're
bunny?
never Bunny.
No. I
Mm-mm.
mean,
Mm-mm.
how about Mark Wahlberg in Fear?
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah,
Never.
you
Nope.
can't forget, you can't unsee
Mm-mm.
these things. Okay.
Can't see it.
So that was a relief.
Yeah, that was a
And
relief.
and then like my question is,
Yeah.
obviously in the ending, the end, you know, Kurt Russell and Melissa, they win, right?
Yeah.
Like Ray
Yeah.
Liotta
Gets
bites the
his.
dust. He gets
Yeah.
his, right? And then the movie, this is a part of it. They end abruptly and it's just the credits. So it's
Okay.
like the end of the attack and then it's the credits.
That's why
And my
I know.
question is, these movies, I wrote down these movies, does the relationship survive?
I know. We don't have
How?
any follow-up.
We
We
have
have no
no,
follow-up.
like, do they
We
go
have
to
no
therapy? Is
we
he not mad at her?
I know.
Is she not mad at him?
I know. I don't
Like,
know. I don't know.
they both acted like ding dongs, and we don't get to know what happens because it always just went straight to the credits. It was
I I
dude's
feel
dead,
like
credits.
I feel like what the closing scene
That's it.
should have been is them, like, moving out of the house.
Right,
Because remember
leaving.
at the very beginning, she's like, "We should
Yes.
just move out of this house." And
Mhm.
he's like, "No, no, no, we're just gonna get an alarm system, it'll be fine. You're not gonna get
Yeah.
attacked again, blah, blah, blah." And
You
so,
silly,
like,
silly woman.
"You silly woman, lady.
Yeah.
Just
You're not
relax, lady
right.
woman. You're wrong." So, like
Scared little weenie woman. As we have a home invasion in the first 30 seconds of this movie, and she was
paranoid
right.
lady.
Yeah, you
Um,
paranoid, scared lady weenie.
although I will say, I don't even really still understand why that guy invaded their house in the first place. Like,
Had
he didn't
nothing to
steal
do with the plot.
anything. It has nothing to do with the plot. He didn't steal anything. He didn't rape
No,
anybody. He didn't kill
no,
anybody. Sorry
no.
about I said rape. Sorry. I meant to say R.
R. Right.
Sorry.
But he didn't, and it had no connect. The
It
only
had no
connection it had
connection.
with the entire film, which is what was supposed to build the entire plot,
Yes.
was because they were scared for their safety, and Ray Liotta was the cop that was, like, nice to them.
Yeah. And then
It's
okay.
amazing what people do when a cop is
There's
nice to you.
there's so many things in this movie, you guys, that we can't get into because there's other things like when he goes along the ride along and it's just like you would think that they were like in like mayhem place.
It's
It's
like a
like a
PG training day,
it's seriously like the
okay?
things that
It's
they
like
saw on
PG
that
training
ride
day with
along.
Ray
Like,
Liotta and Kurt Russell, but,
yes,
like,
it's like where are
it's
you
hard
going?
to you can't also,
Yeah.
like, shake Kurt Russell's vibe in this movie, like,
No, no, no.
it's like a different person.
It is. But
He would
then
never look like this,
no, but then
but he did.
remember he's like, "You said you wanted to kick this guy's ass, so here, kick his ass." And it
Beat him
was like
up.
he beat him
It's
up
training day, training day.
and 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 Kurt Russell's
Smoke the
character is
meth.
just like, "I'm not going to. I was just talking about that. Like, I'm not really gonna do that. I'm not psycho like you."
Yeah.
Then how about that scene where Ray Liotta picks up that girl? Well, it's like, is she a hooker? Is she a prostitute?
Oh, no, it
And
just
then
I thought it was
the
just, like, a pretty
hooker.
young person,
I thought
and
she
they
was
were
just
like and
like,
he was like they talked about her as if she was a hooker, and I
but
don't think she was.
was she a hooker?
But then they doinked later, so I'm not
In the
sure.
car. And then he
Yeah.
pushes her out of the car and is like, "My only
Like, was
problem is hookers like you, low rent
yeah.
hookers like you." And
He,
he's
like
like,
and I
throws
think
her
the
out
car
in the
was
middle of
moving.
like, moves her, throws her out into like the middle of like a hobo yard
Right.
where there's like gas cans, like with
Gas cans on fire, like,
on
trash cans
fire.
on fire, and
Like,
all of
where do
these,
they
like, weird,
live?
seedy things. I'm assuming it's LA. I mean, I don't in the '90s, I have
But I
no
mean,
idea.
like,
The disconnects in this movie
there's a lot.
are
It's
like, substantial. I mean, it's just, it's significant, and
yeah.
he's
So
like, pulls this woman over. You don't the audience doesn't know that when he pulls this girl over, and Kurt Russell thinks it's so cool that cops can pull women over and basically violate their rights, and
yeah,
they're all like, "Oh, oh, 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 oh," and
I
then
know.
we don't get the vibe that
I
this
know.
woman knew Ray Liotta, or
We
that
do
she was a
not.
prostitute. Just
No.
looked like a
Mm-mm.
young girl driving a Jeep Wrangler.
I know.
So then it goes into this, like, whole separate thing where it's like a cut to them doing it, and he's like, "You're like just like a
You're
whore," and, like,
disgusting.
we're like,
Yeah.
"Wait, what?" And,
What?
like,
Yeah.
"Wait," and it's so confusing,
Because he
and, like,
can't
half
because
the
he
time,
can't
Kurt
do
Russell
it.
thinks he's cool. Right.
And so she's like, "If you have a problem, baby, we can go to a hotel room and, like, get snuggled in the bed, and you can get nice and relaxed, and then maybe you'll be able to do it." And he's like, "My only problem is low rent hookers like you."
Yeah.
Like, he's just you know what,
Okay,
Natalie?
man.
It's just I'm getting a little riled up. I gotta calm it
Thank
down.
God. I
I
mean,
mean,
I thought I was
jeez,
gonna be the only one
wow.
on this
But,
one.
I mean, I gotta tell you, this movie sucked me in from the get,
I
and
loved
I
this
did
movie.
not stop.
As
Same.
much as I love bitching about it,
Me
I
too.
loved this movie. I
Same.
paused it, hung out with Scott and his friends downstairs, and then came back up and resumed and took notes at,
I
like, 2
know.
in the morning. I was
I
like,
know.
I'm not gonna go to bed without finishing this
It
movie.
is like people, you gotta if you're like
It's so
if you
entertaining.
need something that's just like 90s vibes and like
The only thing missing in this movie was Gene Hackman.
that's it. That's the only
That was
thing
it.
missing in this movie. If
I
we
wish
could have
he'd
had
been
like a
the head
good
cop.
cop. Yeah. We could have had a good cop in Gene
But
Hackman.
I love when Gene Hackman's bad guy.
We
Doesn't
love
get
that.
better than that, I can tell you that right now. Doesn't get better when Gene Hackman's not the bad guy.
I know, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's like The Firm,
I know.
Absolute
Oh,
Power,
girlfriend. I know.
Unforgiven.
All right. Well, I'm excited to hear what you have for a pit stop today. So let's just go ahead and take a pit stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
mhm.
Our pit stop
So
today is
yeah,
dedicated to
mhm.
Kurt Russell's
Oh, yeah.
many hairdos.
Oh, yeah. I will sign on to
So,
that. Yep.
what I feel like he and Mel Gibson mirrored each other with their
Yes.
hairdos through the
Yes.
'90s
It was a
and
look.
current like, it was like a look like Overboard, Lethal Weapon. I mean, that's tomato,
Yes.
tomato.
Yeah.
Um, and we're huge fans of Kurt Russell
Oh my
and Goldie
gosh,
Hawn on this
because
show.
Goldie
I
Hawn,
mean,
like, hello,
I think they're darling.
anybody who can
But
be with
oh,
Goldie Hawn.
side note,
Yes.
I know the pit stop now. I
Yeah.
will ask you his my favorite hairdo of yours, but I
Okay.
saw an interview with Kate Hudson and her brother Oliver,
Yeah.
um, on Jimmy Kimmel, and they were talking about how Kurt Russell has, like, had multiple run-ins with, like, murderers.
What?
When, O.J. Simpson was like, Kate Hudson was at a friend's house who lived down the street from O.J. Simpson
Oh
during
my gosh.
the chase,
Yeah.
and so Kurt Russell was walking, and they call him dad, so, like, he
Yeah.
was walking to go get, like, to that house, but he was standing. They saw him on the news because, like, all of the shows were interrupted with this chase. They
Yeah.
saw Kurt Russell in the driveway waiting to see what was happening when OJ was pulling into his
Oh my
driveway,
gosh, I have
and they
no
saw Kurt
idea.
Russell on the
That is
news.
crazy.
Yeah, and so they're like, there's our
Remember
dad,
that time our dad was
we're all watching this with our friend's family, and there's our dad down the
Wow.
street at OJ Simpson's driveway."
Do you
And
remember
then
where you were
also
when that happened, the O.J.
yeah, I
Simpson
was
thing?
at school.
Oh, I was in a bar
I
with my
was in, like,
boyfriend.
6th grade, 7th grade,
Okay.
and our teachers let us watch it instead of doing schoolwork.
Y'all, that and the Koresh thing, I will never understand these Arkansas teachers, like, "Let's just
I
turn on
mean,
some news. Y'all wanna
it
watch."
was private school. I
Alright.
mean, I don't know, they can kinda do
Okay.
whatever. And then the other thing that happened to him,
Yeah.
he was camping one time and, in Colorado, and he had made his food, and he with some friends, and he made his food, he went to go use the bathroom, and he came back and his food was gone. And it was the same time that Ted Bundy had escaped from the Colorado
Shit.
prison and was going through the same woods, and they didn't know that. And when Ted Bundy got caught, he talked about how he survived, and he said he was like, "Well, I found this food while I was camping, and this man left this food out, so I took it and ate it, and it
Oh
was
my
Kurt Russell's
god.
food."
And on the little container, the Tupperware, it said K. Russell on there, on the
I
on a piece of on a
love
piece of
Goldie.
tape
Yeah,
with
I
written with a
mean,
Sharpie.
it that really happened. He was like, I mean, Ted Bundy was like, there were
Wow.
this group of guys were camping, and
That
it was the same
is
place, and there was this a plate of food, and I took it and ate it because when Kurt Russell came back, he was like, "Who ate my fucking food? Like, who ate my food?" Sorry,
whoa.
Darren. Ted Bundy ate his food.
Ted Bundy ate your food. That's who ate
Yeah.
your effing food,
So that
Kurt.
came out, like, this week, so that's actually super
Whoa.
relevant to this.
Okay, well,
That's so good.
that is okay,
Yep.
I'm just over here I just did a Google image search on Kurt
On your
Russell.
favorite I think my favorite Kurt Russell hairdo
Yeah.
is, Overboard is up there, and
Yeah.
I think, I also liked his silver hair and, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Okay, yeah,
It was a
that's not
little
bad.
clean cut, but not so much. It was like a comb back, like a older gentleman,
Right.
silver.
Yeah, he's always kinda
It's like
had
someone that still has gray hair but could do a comb back.
yeah, he's always kind of had the sort of,
He
shaggy
has great hair.
he's always had, like, a shaggy mullet,
He has
like,
fabulous
he
hair.
really doesn't have, like, MPB really going on at
No.
all, like, not really a
No.
lot at all.
No,
I
he's
mean
got
and, I
great
don't
hair.
mind it when somebody has that, I like that,
Well, I
actually.
don't care either, but I
I
mean,
told you that
he just happens
before.
to not have
You
it,
have
so
that, then it's okay,
he
everybody,
doesn't
just
happen to
deal
have
with it.
it.
Oh, that's cute. There's one here where he's very clean cut in a tuxedo, but there's a recent picture of him and Goldie that I would just like to hold up to the camera right now to
Yeah,
show
in
you.
Aspen.
So I just want you to see that. So that's a lot.
Sure,
It's a lot.
that's
That's a lot going on
well,
there.
you can't focus on
I
his
mean,
long hair because 'cause you're looking at his,
you just start looking at that
unkempt Abraham Lincoln
but
beard.
that beard is not even Abraham Lincoln. It's like the guy from Wizard of Oz. It's like what is going on there?
It's complicated.
That is a
That's
complicated beard.
I'm
I mean,
assuming
but look how
w
happy Goldie looks just to be
I
right
mean,
by his
she's so
side.
proud.
I
She's
mean,
so
she just,
proud. She's so proud,
I
and
mean,
she
look at
looks
that.
fantastic.
I
I
mean, look at
know.
those guys.
She's so
Come
proud.
on. I mean,
They're so
please.
proud of each other, it's
I
really
know.
sweet.
So I'm not mad at that. It's
They're
fine.
my, like, couple goals,
Yeah, couple
big
goals
time.
for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, gosh, I have just loved having this conversation with you about this.
We have really
This
done it today, sister.
I know. I mean, I feel like if people need something to watch, you guys need to go watch Unlawful Entry.
I
There
mean,
is everything.
it's so fun. It's
There
fun.
is
It's
there
fun to
is
watch.
murder,
Yeah.
there is sex, there is nudity, there are nude
There's NUDITY suits
uh-huh, shirts.
that just look like they're nude, but they're not. He's
Mhm.
actually in a business suit going to a
Right.
meeting because he's a club owner.
Yep, yep.
Makes
And,
sense.
it's got it all. It's got it all.
I mean, it's just a fun time,
Yeah, it's just a good time.
you know?
And that's what
Get
we're
a
all
get a
about
get a
here.
Coca-Cola,
Yeah, or
or
something
get a glass
stronger,
of wine or something
whatever.
and just watch it. It's only 90 minutes if that. So
Mhm.
you're
And I feel like
it
it's
won't
one that
it's
you
not
watch
overdone.
while eating a burger. Like, eat
Eat
a
a
burger
burger.
and
Yes.
watch Unlawful
It's a
Entry.
really good hangover movie.
For sure. This
I
is a
mean,
real good one for
yeah.
that.
It's also
Like, that
just a
should
good
be in the
movie if you're
rotation.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is now.
right? Yeah.
And Scott hasn't even gotten to I get to rewatch it all again
Oh
with
my
Scott.
god.
He hasn't
I
even watched
kinda
it.
wanna go watch it again, like, right
I
now.
know. I'm
It's
like,
just that
we were
good.
gonna watch Saltburn and, like, current movies, and I'm
Ugh.
like, "No, I think we're
Ugh.
just gonna rewatch Unlawful Entry." I think that's
Mm.
what we're doing tonight with
Mm.
some Pizza Hut. Tell you
I
that right
love
now.
it, I love it. I love it, I
That's
love it, I love it.
absolutely what's
That's
happening.
happening.
Because
That
I
I
mean,
think I might make Frank do that too.
I'm
That sounds great.
actually I swear on my life, that's what's happening tonight,
Okay, fabulous.
if that rhymes.
I don't think that rhymes, but
Because
that's okay.
Scott has some, like, Kurt Russell vibes. He's got some, like
100%.
100% has some Kurt Russell
100%.
vibes.
I was gonna say, 'cause you text me, you're
I
like, "Wait, does
know.
Scott have, like, Ray Liotta vibes?" I'm like, "You mean Kurt
No,
Russell
I mean, like,
vibes?"
Kurt Russell
Kurt
because
Russell
Ray
vibes.
Liotta is smoking hot too,
But
but I was like,
I don't
I
want your
couldn't
husband to be that guy. I want it to be Kurt Russell.
no, it was like a profile, but, like and then I looked at Kurt Russell and I
No,
was like, "Oh my god,
Kurt Russell
if I put
vibes.
him in a neutral colored boxy suit,
Oh,
I
100%.
wouldn't know who I was talking to.
I mean, you'd have to
Is
put
it
on a
Scott or is it
dark
Kurt?
hair you wouldn't know. You wouldn't
I
even
wouldn't
know.
know.
You
Wouldn't
wouldn't
even
know.
know."
You'd have to,
So
like, check his ID.
so now me saying this has made him want to watch that movie, which is I'm no fool, and I can't wait. So we're doing that. Yay!
All right, well, enjoy
Drunk Sundays.
that.
I
It's so
will.
fabulous. I
And you
love
know what,
talking with
Angela, I love
you.
you so much,
You too,
and
girlfriend.
thank you so much that I'm so grateful that we get to do this together. I
Same.
really am. And
Me too.
everybody watch us on YouTube if you want to see me overserved talking about a 90s thriller. And then I got
I love
a
90s
little riled up
thrillers.
about I love 90s thrillers, and I obviously get upset about Gypsy Rose right now because I don't know where I stand.
It's too much.
I don't know I don't know where to
It's too
be
much. It's too much,
because I
but,
need to watch the 2020 though.
you do.
That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
But I'm going to say to you, Angela,
Mhm.
namaste lawful entries.
Okay.
Don't be unlawful entry. Stick to lawful entries. Food for
Ooh,
thought.
thank you so
That's a little bit from me to you.
thank you. Namaste, Natalie, petting my fluffy cat.
Oh, you
Take
get
that
to.
however you want to.
Okay. Well, all I know is cats can get. I guess you can take that however you want to take it. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.